All right. Hello and welcome to Race Brain Podcast. My name is Rich Ryan, joined today by Bracken Crocker, Jack Bauer, and the newest member, Matt Mason. We have a lot of HYROX to talk about. We are going to be drafting for Hong Kong. We have the second major of the season coming up this week/weekend. We're going to start by talking about how awesome I am and how not awesome I think everybody else is. So, regular race brain agenda today.
All I'm going to say, Rich, is they're lucky you're not in Hong Kong, right?
That's it.
They don't want that work. They don't want that work.
Hop on the last
third fastest man in HYROX history. They don't want that work.
The fastest man on U.S. or North American
You beat
soil.
JK. You beat JK by 1 second. Third fastest man.
I thought he has 54.0. In
let me verify. JK, if you do, no disrespect.
And this is the thing, right? Like, Rich, you harp this point. How do you go 58 to 54 in a matter of weeks? Like, how do you go from 23rd fastest to 4th fastest? All that we're just sick and tired of these
courses, man.
Goofy games courses,
goofy ass courses.
And I love the fact that you took it upon yourself to prove the system so utterly broken that even you can run 54.
This time shouldn't count. We gotta throw this thing out. This shit is dumb. What are we doing?
Well, if you would have saw your burpees, you would know they don't count.
Yeah, you guys. They caught 2 of my burpees on the internet, and then the people were like, "Oh, burpees! I think every burpee's not good."
But, were you on the line or was it fine?
No, it was fine.
They were on the line.
As someone who was an elite judge, this is not just me backing on my boy. As someone who's an elite judge, the first couple were definitely on the line. They were not egregious. However, you can clearly see he gets a warning from his judge, and Christian is standing right there, and then he immediately corrects the form. So, like, I don't know what people want. Like, we say in the rule book that we're going to give people a warning. We're not going to just immediately penalize people. We're going to give him a warning. He got a warning, and then it was clean the rest of the way.
Give an inch. Take
that's as much as you can give.
That's give an inch. I took like 6. It was a little bit of a hand to foot.
It was a hand thing.
Issue.
It's like his hands were going down and then they were like slightly scooting up, which I don't think is as egregious as
your
falling
feet stay
forward.
In the same place.
Yeah. So it's like I don't think it gained him anything.
It's no walking with the lunges.
Are they the worst?
I've cheated way worse before. I've cheated far worse than this before.
Are they the worst we've seen so far this year? Absolutely not. So, like, yeah.
No.
And how about those sleds, Rich? What was your sled pull?
They were moving.
240?
239 maybe.
Typical.
Because I got on course. I knew which lane he was coming into. I Crisco'd the bottom of those things. I was like, let's go.
That's like right here.
Greased them.
Man, was I just on fire reading those results. Lit up. Sweaty pits.
You didn't tune into the live stream?
I was at the racetrack.
Damn.
We didn't get home till late.
Yeah, neither did we.
Then Rich put that work into that relay. We didn't
Rich
get out
on
of
the podium
until like 11.
10:45 p.m. It's like
relay too. Relay was great.
No, I didn't get to watch. Was there good live coverage?
It was just Matt.
It was your boy. It was your boy.
You put it up?
I put it up.
You got the footage that I can watch?
It's still on. Yeah, it's on.
Still on?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Excellent.
Number 1, Matt.
Man,
that's right.
So sleds were definitely moving on in Chicago. The venue's just nice, right? Like it's not too hot in there. Tall ceilings, big and open. They were just moving. I don't know. They were like, I was looking at, I was like 240 is like kind of insane. And I popped on to see like where that would line up all time. And it's like, yeah, it's up there. And there, Joffrey's was fast. Joffrey, I think, has a faster one in Amsterdam, and Wynn was 225 in Amsterdam, which is just
holy crap
craziness. And actually, Kent was faster in Chicago a couple years ago when he won North American Championship. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a great explanation for it. They just happened to move. I got a good venue that's set up well.
Ran fast.
The execution of it was right, and I got a fast course and took advantage, which a lot of these athletes who are in the position in being the Elite 15 have, right? Like not all these courses are going to be fast. Like we'll go to Dallas this weekend and it might be like 2 minutes slower. And just like
you
that.
Picked the right one, Rich. You picked the right one. Yeah.
So what's your average now?
It is. So it's not up to date yet, but it will
56?
be 56,
56. Yeah.
22.
So
Is
that
that-
We
What
were
does that
doing
put
we were
you-
doing the math afterwards, and he should be good.
I think
mean,
he's
granted,
ninth, right?
unless we get like another goofy course. But for Vegas, they've actually got it backwards on the site. For Vegas, he should be the fastest non-auto qualifier. He's going to be just ahead of Yannick.
yeah, and then this time
pending Hong Kong results, like those could change after this weekend. But
totally.
Yeah,
So-
100%.
And this time is good for like, I don't know, what 24 months I think these times
I
count
think
for.
next election.
So
roughly.
like, yeah, I could just mail it in and I will still be able to run the major at this point next year.
Yeah, the problem
regardless
that
of
Rich is
fitness.
the problem that Rich is going to have is he's going to have to run. He needs to run at least one more race because his fastest time, not Chicago, is DC of last year, which is March 1st. Glasgow is March 14th. So depending on when they do the cutoff for times, he would be safe for Vegas, but would not be safe for Glasgow. And I don't know what his next fastest time is after
Well,
that.
Vegas isn't a
So,
thing, right? Like it's
what
not
do you mean?
It's not anything. You can't punch a world's ticket there.
Yeah,
He
you can.
can.
It's a major.
Yeah, it
It's the
is
major.
Oh, got you.
The 5.
Yeah, so he'll be safe. He'll be safe for Vegas. He won't be safe for Glasgow.
Right.
But because our dude just ran so freaking fast, if he just goes, we were joking about this. If he just drops a 57 mid, which would have been a PR a week ago in Dallas, then he's even more fine.
Now it's a jog. It's a light walk,
Yeah.
risk of effort in
Yeah.
the park.
Now you get to walk off a station.
I could just, yeah.
Yeah.
I could just skip
If you're
some.
if you're just not feeling it that day, you just walk off.
But yeah, I
Just
think
do
even
the
if I do
same
it,
sleds, even if they're not moving, and walk a minute out of each one, and you're fine.
So you could test out our strategy,
it's true.
see if it works.
That's 56 mid.
Yeah,
If I run 60, I'm like still all right.
I think you owe it to the podcast to just test it out, see if it
If
works.
you
Research.
just decide I'm going 2 minutes on each one, and I'll give a minute after each one, that's not a bad strategy if you can run then.
I could do it on the push and just see, like, just do all 4, see if I can do it in like a minute 45 or something, and then just like take my sweet time out of there, let the heart rate
Yeah.
drop all the way down.
Like
Go to the water
reverse
station.
JK, walk out of every station.
No, just walk the entire rock zone. That's your. You can run everything else. Press it, but
Dallas is a small rock zone.
But do it like this, so everyone knows.
do the blood
Have someone
testing
have,
also.
have someone prick your ear.
That's
Get
what
the
we can
lactic.
do. We
Yeah.
could do the lactic testing on in Dallas. That's
This
smart.
is what being a 54 gives you: options.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do some testing. We can get some content.
Rich Ryan, 54 guy. 54 guy.
Is that in the
Pretty-
profile yet?
Not yet. I made a post
I
about
think
it.
I think fastest on North American soil must
Land
be
mass.
profile.
Land mass record.
And as we talked about, that also extends to South America, right? So
It sure
this-
does.
It's the American continent.
I saw a snarky comment online this weekend, and so I clicked on it. It was a blue check mark, and you always have to check, is that a real check mark or not? But it was like 1,200 followers. So I looked at and it said, HYROX pro coach, HYROX pro athlete.
Hmm.
And then so I high resulted them real quick. That's like going to LinkedIn in the
It sure
HYROX
is.
world.
Mhm.
And it was like 108. And I realized that signing up for HYROX Pro makes you a HYROX Pro athlete now.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll notice that on High Result, if you've ever done a pro race, next to your name, it will say pro athlete.
Yeah. Now, in
Oh,
the
is that
Spartan, it
right?
used to be if you're on the pro team, even if you only got the ambassador code or A entry, you were a pro athlete. That was what people put. Now it's just simply signing up for the pro wave. You're a pro. It's really hard to wade through this online now.
They've got elite, but who's gonna? Most people, if you see pro on the surface, you're like, that person's the
Elite
man.
sounds better than pro.
I know, but if you see pro first, and like
Exactly.
you're thinking they're good enough.
That's right.
And
Anyway,
NFL players just putting I'm a pro.
all
They're not
that to
putting
say,
I'm a-
Rich is officially pro.
I could put
Or
it in the
elite.
profile.
Yeah.
Land mass record, 35 plus record. Oldest man. I'm the oldest person to run as fast as this.
Wow.
no
Awesome.
one's
04,
run
right?
faster than older than I am.
Yeah.
So
Just think when you go full on buzz cut. Because you're
Just
following the JK route, which is as your hair gets shorter,
That's
your times
true.
go down.
That is true.
that was
If you
part of the
just
thought.
commit before the worlds or before your next major, like we're gonna see the scariest version of you.
This is a bald guy thing that try to recruit other balding people onto the team. I'm getting there, BK. Don't worry. Riker's like telling me about it. He's been bald since 22 or whatever. He's been like, you should probably shave your head. I'm like, whatever, bro.
I'm not trying to tell you to shave it.
It is
I
shaved.
saw your pictures and the videos. I'm like, he went low.
It's
And then he
low.
went low.
I did it because the Eagles are 6-0 since Sirianni did it. So I was like, makes sense to me.
Naturally.
Was this the BPN haircut? That's what the people want to know.
It's part of the BPN haircut. My guy, Simon Fades down there, was giving me some like tips on what to ask for when your hair starts going. And the 2.5 was a little bit lower than I thought it was going to look. But we're going to ride with it. It's working.
Look clean. Look clean.
Thank you.
Can wear a Bass Pro Shop hat like Matt. Let's do that.
That's right.
Other results in HYROX Chicago, it was me, 54-28. Then Marcus Wallace with a PR, 57-33. Colin
Yeah,
Steefer-
poor Marcus in this, who actually ran a great race
Yeah.
with a 20-second PR, which is like a month later, which is nothing to like slouch about. And dude just got overshadowed because Rich said it's me.
Well, we built up the Debo.
Debo gets knocked
Yeah.
out
Craig.
eventually at the end.
I told you, Craig hits him with a brick. That's me. And then Colin Steefer, 58-13. I believe that's also a PR for him, or it really
One
comes really
second,
One second.
1 second faster than last year in
than this time
Chicago.
last year. And hey,
So anyone saying that this isn't a fair course, you're wrong.
improvements. Grayson Kilgore with a big PR, 59-10. Really strong showing for him. Stephen Pelkofer, correct?
Shout out Wisconsin. That's 2 Wisconsin boys in the top 5. I'm just
Yikes.
saying, y'all not listening. I've been
How many
trying to tell you.
How many
DK's been
Wisconsin
trying
guys
to
ran
tell you.
54-28? None. That's all that
Nice.
matters.
How
Yeah,
many Colorado guys did? None.
More than Wisconsin.
Who
He's
knows?
Philly.
Philly,
that's
baby.
true.
And then Keith Hardwick, great time, 60-15. And Isaac Sanderson. We can go through all this whole thing. Hayden Warner, 60-58 in his debut. Awesome debut for him. I'm going to touch on all of the Wisconsin guys. Mark Paulzine, 61-52. Alex Ratkovich. This was an absolute stunner to us, running 62-54. Not that time that he's a very talented athlete, very fast. Do we know where he's from, where they gave him credit from being from in the award ceremony?
Oh, yeah.
They called him up, and we just turned our heads. We're like, what?
I could not believe it.
Unreal.
They said West Allis.
West Allis.
Braggon's
I
not even
could-
the fittest in his own community
I
now.
could not believe it.
We
No,
went
I'm not
crazy.
the fittest in my own home.
Which is funny because the new HYROX, I believe his name is Tommy. He's actually from Milwaukee, Bracken. So
Oh,
when all of the Milwaukee guys post their like neighborhoods, like he gave me grief one time when I got on the podium because I put Shorewood, and so he said Shoreweed.
Nice.
oh my, this is too, again, we're with this geography of
Been trying
Greater
to tell
Milwaukee.
I've been trying to tell
No
y'all.
one wants that, right? Like Colorado became a couple good people in OCR were there, and everyone's like, "Let's go to Colorado and train." We're never gonna have that. They're gonna be like, "Oh,
Yeah, no
Can
one's gonna be
someone
like, let's
please
move to
just-
Wisconsin.
no,
cost of
let's
living.
let's
Cost
go
of
to
living to get
DecaFit."
there.
No one good. Let's just.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a draw, and that's fine. We don't want you.
I believe
Bandwagon's
Alex,
full.
I believe Alex lives in Chicago now, but they gave him he
West
repped West Allis. I couldn't believe it. We went
Literally,
crazy.
I don't know anybody who reps West Dallas other than you, BK.
Even
So
in
that was-
Spartan days, I used to put Milwaukee on there just because I was born there, and it's like a city people know about and sometimes are proud of. But now West Dallas
on the map.
on the map.
All right.
I
On the
have to
women's
reach out to
side,
that man.
yeah, you should. On the women's side, Jennifer Thompson shocking the field in 63.05, really from the start of it all. Maria
Awesome
Fetchik,
race.
great race for her. Maria Fetchik, 64.05. Bridget Brown running a really smart race, 65.25. Kelsey
Bridget won the beer
Hocklittner.
mile also.
And I wonder if she beat our boy Matt Mason. We were just doing the awards, hanging out, having a nice time. Go Brewing was doing this thing where you chugged one non-alcoholic beer and ran like 100 meters or a little bit more.
0.1 mile.
It was
160.
0.1 because it's 0.1 because that's not technically non-alcoholic brews have to put 0.1.
I
0.01.
like it.
0.01,
Synergy.
yeah.
And then we were just doing nothing. We look over, Matt Mason is sprinting on this assault treadmill. Full
Just
on.
just
Oh, this is
pistons.
0.1. Yeah, you were just
Pistons
hammering.
moving.
Hammering
Just
it.
moving. Running
I'm
a
like bracket at
445
the end of the stadium sprint.
445 mile, just moving.
Is that what you got
race,
for that?
Third race of the day, moving.
Wow.
Yeah, Kelsey Hochlittner. I say her name incorrect. She makes fun of me and has not been able to properly correct me on how to say it. And then Kat Fassbender was 5th in her debut in 66:21, and that's a big PR for Kelsey as well. So some really solid times across the board. I mean, I think this course was just so favorable that if you showed up and you were prepared in the least, like, you were going to have a really good day. So vibes were just immaculate out there. Everyone was in a good spot. People feeling happy about their results. So yeah, really.
I meant to
solid.
ask offline. Sorry to go negative right away, but what happened with Morgan?
She is experiencing a little bit of like a respiratory issue.
Okay.
So she warmed up and was just decided like it wasn't the day. She signed up for Dallas. So she wanted to preserve that. So it's better just to.
Gotcha.
And same with Megita. Megita signed up and he gave it a shot to warm up and just pulled the plug.
What's he dealing with?
8 hours of training in a month.
Megita stuff. Yeah, he
Just
just
regret.
definitely regret.
Yep,
He's absolutely dealing with that regret because there's no course in the United States that is going to be like, maybe Vegas will be nice, but that convention center, maybe they can open it up to make it as big as they did Chicago. But what we saw at Worlds, I think that was like a 3 or 4 lapper.
Jack told us early this year, he did he plugged it into Jack's butt, and he said there's one course in North America that if you want a taste of the Euro experience, this is the only one you can get it at.
Mm-hmm. My butt.
I do think that a lot of it had. I was actually thinking about this for the men's times because the men's times were a little bit quicker than the women's. It was set up favorably for the men in that the course was pretty well clear by the time the men pro got on the course. So it really actually kind of felt like the Elite 15 race last year in Chicago, where like once Rich got on a straightaway, he was not having to bob and weave, and they were good 200-meter straightaways. So you got 200 meters of just running, quick little turns back to 200 meters. I mean, it was just perfect straight line running. And then the way they had the in to go down into the rock zone, you just made a slight little right turn and you didn't even really have to adjust your pace. So I think it was definitely favorable to runners later in the day because of how clear the course was.
Yeah,
it was still
course
busy,
was pretty
but it was
the women's course was very busy.
Yeah,
there was all kinds of people out there. We had doubles teams. I mean, it was wild.
They had good traffic control with the little channel in and out when they had the pedestrian crossing. I think that was a good addition there. I hadn't seen that before, but
limited turns, even in there, you came out of the bottom of the rock zone and you would have to hairpin out a little bit, but considering sometimes these courses are just mandatory hairpins in and out the entire time, like this is as good of a course that I've ever run on.
Yeah.
And it just shows what some efficiency can do.
Rich, I'm going to do a screen share again. I know that I could just do it. So we've got every single person's PR. See this, the yellow?
Yeah.
Yep. So yellow is what they ran in Chicago. So every single person who went sub 65, except for Isaac, who was 54 seconds slower, and Scott Diaz, who was 308 slower than his PR. Pretty much everybody on the men's side set a PR.
Shout out my boy Benjamin Stecker. Shouts out. Got that 65 first pro race.
Right
nice.
There. Yeah, a lot of debuts though. Like this is pretty remarkable. Like these are very solid debuts. Like Hayden Warner, like you mentioned, 61 or breaking 61. But you can see most of the people were, I don't know, minute. A few people were like 3 minutes and stuff. But it was a favorable course to run fast.
Totally. Yeah. So that is, we were hoping for that to be the case coming into Chicago, and we got it. Thank you to the people in HYROX for setting up such a nice course for us. And maybe that's something that we will see in the United States moving forward is working on some of these efficiencies. So even the course was fairly similar to last year, but they changed things like farmers, and there was just slight changes to help with the efficiency of this. And I think Europe's just a little bit ahead of us when it comes to course design. And they do them so often that they get a better flow, and they have figured these little things out. Maybe we're catching up. This is the first time we saw a course this year. So we'll see in Dallas if there's any real changes to help with the efficiency pieces. But
you get some good downhole Midwest guys and rolls there in HYROX, and this is what happens. Just no nonsense. Let's just be logical.
All right.
Straighten the burpees out there, eh? We do it.
No turnarounds, eh?
No.
Quick question for the panel. It's going to be the site of World Championships here. How much do you think a grid will help?
Well, we've
Well,
seen it.
last
I mean,
year
that-
was grid, yeah. So they could keep the things like farmers outside. Maybe they, instead of burpees, they put the farmers where that location was. But this course I think is faster than an Elite 15 course, a grid course.
You think so?
Just because of straight burpees. And last year at the farmers we had to do 1,000,000 times.
That's fair. Yeah.
I also think that the big run course doesn't benefit the grid rock zone. They almost cancel each other out. You get that big 2-lapper, which is really nice, but it means that since the grid is usually really nice on transitions, you have a long run in and out that you don't get on short runs. So if it's a 3.5 lapper, you're not going to have to run far to get off onto the course. But in Chicago, you do, because it's just such a big venue. Unless they narrow that thing down, unless they really narrow it down and make it an oval, like a narrow oval, that'd be the only way to keep it so that you're not running like 50 to 150 meters to get in or out of that grid area.
And I think they did change the in and out for the grid last year to help with that. I think it was like in the middle, where the out was kind of at the end where it was this year. So that was different, but getting in and out of the grid, yeah, there's extra turns, like you're having to kind of weave your way in and out of there. So it's going to be a great location for Worlds, I must say.
A lot of people talking.
A lot of people saying that they're happy about it. A lot of people going, getting that qualifier spot.
How are they going to go there, though? They've got to maybe qualify through Hong Kong first.
Real quick, let's talk.
Trying to transition.
Nice try with the transition.
A little premature.
Let's give the people a shots over in Ireland. We had a race in Dublin where Sean Noble showed out with a 55:30. Aaron Travers was 59:03, and then Shane McGowan was 59:53. So 55:30, I believe he has like a 59 high too. It's going to put him right in the mix for that Elite 15, or maybe just on the outside of that. So great showing by him, where he's been kind of up and down, but he's showing flashes, and when it goes well for him, he can pop a big one. On to the women. Let me pull this up right quick. We had Lucy Proctor having a big day as well there, where she ran a PR, I think 62:57. Can someone help? I know we looked up this name, the AOIFE.
Do you remember it? Try it.
No, I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
It's IFA.
Oh my God, I wasn't even close. Aoife Faye was 63:22, really solid time. Lauren Armstrong was 65:49. So seems like they're figuring things out in Ireland a little bit as well. These courses have generally been very slow, but this will put Lucy in a pretty good spot. The qualifying rankings are not up to date. Not that I've been checking, but they are not up to date. But I think this will put Lucy pretty close to the 15 spot. I think she'll be very close to that.
With qualifying date windows like this, they're pretty firm, set in stone. But in a situation like a Hong Kong, where someone could get hurt or sick or undeclare this week, will they go to this past weekend to choose someone new if they can't find someone? Like, are you now a candidate, or someone from Ireland? Are they now a candidate? Like, the roll down doesn't make sense. Those people aren't planning on going. They won't. Will they open it up and get rid of the window, or will they not? Are they firm on that?
I hope they're firm, right?
Would you accept if they told you right now?
For Hong Kong?
Yeah.
No.
You still wouldn't.
I
It
would
hasn't
definitely-
changed.
No. That's just crazy. It doesn't sound fun.
I think they just lucked out on the situation for today, because it just so happens that it had rolled down to Sadiq, and right after Sadiq is Gabe, who just so happens to be close enough that it's not ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that
Now-
can't continue to happen, right?
But it does continue to happen. I think that's
it
the
does.
thing. I think that's the thing that like bothers me the most, is like, I mean, I get it. Like, we don't know why Jake Dearden pulled out. Maybe he got hurt this week or whatever. But like, I think this lends credence to I think, Bracken, you brought this up the last time we talked about this. Like, why don't we just have a second heat of like the next 5 or 10 that can run, and because this is now what this happened last major. We had multiple people pull out the last minute. We had 3 replacements on the women's side.
And to
We
be clear, I
had-
meant it can't continue to happen that the local guy, there happens
Right.
to be
Yeah.
a local
No, I
guy
know.
waiting.
No, I know what you
Right.
mean. But then you go back to Worlds, and we had day of 2 people pulled out, and we just lucked out that Megita was there because he works for HYROX, and we lucked out that Colin Steefer happened to be landing 4 hours before the race. Like, but if it were not for that, we would not have had 15 people racing.
For Worlds, I don't think they should fill that spot at all. In my opinion, like I don't like, it's because that's like, oh, if you're there, all of a sudden you've shown enough that you can qualify for this race. Like I
still think you bring the best local CrossFitter in for Worlds.
no,
They do
no
have
matter what.
Just bump eyes up on the coverage. Yeah.
I mean, they do have alternates at the Olympics, even if people scratch. Doesn't often come into play, but I'd be okay with 1 or 2 substitutes.
But the alternates are they're like knowing that they're alternates.
But they're
right?
probably showing up to run age group, right?
Yeah, but like it's just
I know.
it's like, oh, okay, now we're just taking this person from a race that happened in freaking March. I know they changed that this year, and maybe they will put someone on notice and give them some of the like maybe there are 2 alternates from last chance qualifier, right? And then that's it. And those people, they can choose to show up or not. But it's just like, okay, we're just going to keep this thing rolling down. It's just, I just think what's qualified is qualified.
I would agree, except our late add-ins keep making podiums.
Wait, are there alternates for if someone gets hurt, if they get 3rd at world at the trials and qualify? There's an alternate that can come in if they.
There was some woman. I think she was a U.S. marathoner. She dropped out at like mile 1 this year.
Marathon, they always do.
People were really mad because it's like, if you weren't healthy, what about this person who was physically there, who was able to do it? You knew you were right on the edge. So I remember that was the case, but I think it's mainly marathon.
They don't for every event, but marathon always has alternates.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We
Let's
just
see
have Chris and Rylan.
who will show up.
Yep.
Your man's not going to do it. Let's not Jack. Did you have a transition for?
No.
No?
You go.
Do it again. It was good.
Come on, whatever you said
What-
before.
What I was saying
if
is,
it works now.
we're doing a little preview on Worlds, and it's like, how are we even going to know who's going to be at Worlds? Well, we have a race this weekend where we're going to get 3
Feels
new
forced.
people. There's our transition.
Funny that we're talking about that. Let's talk about Hong Kong. We're going to draft today. We're going to do some post coverage as well. The race is going to be. I'm all confused with the time zone situation. It's like a full day ahead. So it is Friday.
They're going to be
Mhm.
racing Friday evening their time, 4:30 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. So when we wake up and we're drinking our Resolute coffee,
Mhm.
or in my case, my Corvus coffee,
Mhm.
Friday morning, the races will be done.
Okay. So
Or,
we might
or
not
in other
catch
words,
live.
when the final heat of this past weekend was held.
Correct.
Right. All right. Let's talk about Hong Kong. Jack,
Yep.
you gonna pull up? You have the spreadsheet ready?
We don't do that until we figure out who's going first.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking that same thing. I'm gonna pull up this
Yeah.
wheel of names.
Very important.
I think this is I think this is the most important major of the year, because this is the first time they have gone with a location out of left field that's long travel, going there with political aspirations, business wise, like we're going to grow the sport. They're going to pay us a lot of money.
Mhm.
This isn't necessarily the hottest spot in town for the sport, but this right here is going to prove them right or prove them wrong. If they can put on an awesome event, we've seen in other sports or adjacent sports that works. Like, how many times did NFL London did no one care for it to happen until they're like, it just works.
Mhm.
They just keep going back. It's a thing.
Now
Now. Like, is this
now
going to
they've
be
got
our thing or
Germany.
not?
Yeah.
I think it's very important for the future of the sport how this weekend goes.
Yeah, and the impact of like NFL London. Now you've got Germany, Brazil, Mexico City. Like you realize you can keep expanding to these untapped markets, and a lot of people in Asia. So I feel like could
Well,
work out.
they did just do HYROX Beijing at the
Mhm.
same time as Chicago.
Yep.
And they have Shanghai coming up.
This will also be the first time that we are seeing the new roll down scenario in a major. I believe all 3 qualifiers in the men will be on the starting line. So whoever finishes 6th will qualify, well, potentially 6th, as low as 6, I should say, right? Not necessarily, but it could be as low as a 6th place finisher could qualify on the men's side. On the women's side, as low as 5th, as Meg is sitting this one out. So anything else we want to talk about when it comes to that? I mean, this is still pretty early in the season, but it's basically just going to be a repeat of the previous major, more or less, just because there hasn't been a ton of shakeups, not a lot of opportunity for people to make their way into this race. I don't know. What else do we have to say?
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say is, like, I think there was some talk on the podcast early on in the year, specifically around this race, like, oh, this might be the one where we roll all the way down, right? Because, like, people aren't going to want to go. And on the men's side, it got down to Sadiq at 21, and it only got there because the U.S. men didn't go, Hunter, Kent, Dylan, right? And we didn't really expect them to go. And then on the women's side, it didn't roll down very far either. So I think it might have been BK. Like, people are getting their shot. They're taking it. They don't care if they're traveling 15 hours, 18 hours. Like, they're going. Lauren Griffith is traveling. Lauren Weeks is traveling, but then Lauren Griffith is traveling as well. I mean, I don't know what kind of flight that is from Utah, but I imagine it's a long one.
Not short.
Yeah,
I just don't think you can afford not to if you're not an established athlete. And it continues to show the trend that Europeans, I should just say non-United States of America athletes, are just way more willing to travel. Europeans are used to fluid borders and they just travel. They're used to traveling. The U.S. does not travel well in our sphere of sport.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I thought I had another point to make off of that, but I don't think I do. We ready for this wheel of names?
Let's see if Rich wins again.
Let's do it.
He's about to have a terrible week. He's used it all up.
I'll take it. Worth it. Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Let's
Matt
go.
Mason takes that spot. Where do you want to draft?
First.
Numero uno. Okay. All right. It's a long way. And we're doing 3 men, 3 women. Is that the math? And a wild card?
7 total per team. So, yeah.
Yep,
2
3 men.
athletes will not get picked.
Mm-hmm. Just for those who might drop. It's so nice, Jack, knowing who's going to be at this race, Doesn't that make your life so much easier?
Fantastic. Yeah.
You don't get criticized by me thinking you're cheating ass white
No
font.
way. No way.
Jack Bauer, where you
No
want?
Yanka in this. Let's go 2.
Okay. Well, bummer. Well, bummer on that. BK, what do you think about this roll here? Oh my goodness. This is just all that's worth it. Whatever. Did you see how fast I just ran? I don't care. I don't care.
Fourth.
Want the turn?
Shocker. BK takes the turn.
All right.
Works out for him usually.
All right. Got my spot. We're ready to rock. So we are drafting snake style. 3 men, 3 women. Lowest point total at the end of the race is the winner, cross country scoring style. There are 3 total outcomes. We each face each other head to head, like it would be a dual meet in cross country. I believe I'm winning. I think I'm 3-0 in this specific quadrant of drafting. Jack, can you confirm?
We're gonna have to take a look at the standings.
Are you breaking up?
Breaking up?
Yeah, I didn't quite hear that. We can move on though.
He's just
I don't-
playing.
We're
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sick of Rich already. Everywhere I look, it's Nick, Rich, Nick.
My man
Sick of
Nick. Yep. Thanks for bringing him up.
right.
Oh yeah, so we have Dallas coming this weekend. I'll be down there. Nick Bear will be down there. Ryan Kent's down there. Dylan Scott. We got a good race right here domestically.
Is Hunter going to be down there or not down there? I'm hearing conflicting reports.
I don't know.
Until he saw 54 from our
Yeah.
boy.
I don't want that.
I don't want that. I heard no. I don't know. But I haven't heard anything. If you've heard something else, Matt, I don't know if he's on the registration, but I don't know if he is one to go ahead and register
I don't know
himself.
if he knows how to. Do you think he's
Yeah,
ever
it's-
registered for a race?
He was, for the record, he wasn't on the registration with Graham for the doubles they just did against Ronkovich until the day before. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
And
Right.
real quick, one more thing, Rich, for you on registration. Are you going to sign up as Ryan from now on? Because like that seemed to make a difference this
Did
time.
the trick. I did have to jump through a lot of hoops to get that situated and figured out. It would be better to not have to do that. pre-registration too over in Chicago. It was a zoo, but it was nice to get it done. I waited in line. It looked ridiculously long. It was like 35 minutes. It wasn't as long as I thought it was going to take. So if you get there, stick it out. It's worth having it done.
That's like
Ready?
Vegas, right?
Was it like that?
Yeah.
It was like that for Worlds last year for sure. They had a huge line for pre-registration and everything. All right. We are on first draft pick for the 2024 major in Hong Kong. Matt Mason, who you taking?
The easiest pick in draft history, Lauren Weeks. I don't even know that I need to really say anything else. Meg's not going to be there. So she's definitely not doing worse than second. And the chances that she gets second with Meg not there, I mean, this is almost as sure of a lock as we'll ever see on a first place finish. As long as something doesn't go crazy in traveling, I just don't see how anyone could argue that she's not going to win. So Lauren Weeks. But this could also be like my fantasy season, Christian McCaffrey, 1/1.
You're speaking BK's language too.
Yep.
Yeah.
First overall pick, CMC. Are you still in last place, BK?
No,
Like 0.2 ahead of Dylan, right?
I'm
Nice, man.
0.2. I'm 2 points ahead of last place. But I
Congrats.
need you to give me that.
Congratulations.
Listen, whenever we get a case of the definitelys, we're reminded that why sports happen. I agree with you. This is a sure thing. Right
Until it's not.
Right up
Until it's
until we
not.
realize things happen. Like she came into wall balls in like 38th place at Worlds last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then
still
finished
took-
second.
She
for
still
the
took
record.
the place she should have taken.
And then finished second.
right. But things happen. Things happen.
That is the only case. If there was odds here, what are we putting this at?
Oh, she's negatives.
Minus
Strong.
1,600,
16.
2,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like 300, 350 to 5.
No.
But just because we have seen if these sleds, whatever reason, I don't know how humid it is there. We've seen Hong Kong in the past be very fast, but we've also seen races in APAC be pretty slow because of the conditions. We saw her struggle with the sleds in Nice, right? Like you said, she came into wall balls, I believe, in 7th, where she was buried after the sled pull.
Mhm.
So there is potential for something to go wrong here, but I still wouldn't take those odds.
There
Did
is, but
anybody
also,
watch-
is there a strength athlete on the women's side with Meg not being there who we think is going to be able to take advantage of that? Like, no disrespect to Joanna, but this is literally what we talked about after the last major, that she's still raw, is going to take some time on the stations. She's not necessarily the biggest strength athlete. Lauren has a PR 2 minutes faster than everybody in this field, except for Joanna and I guess Kate Davey.
Still 2 minutes, isn't it?
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Even if the sleds go terribly wrong, if they go bad for Lauren, they're probably going to go bad for other people as well. And who's going to be there to clean up the mess?
All you need to
Lauren
do
Weeks.
is have watched Amsterdam, and it's pretty obvious. she's very fit right now. She can travel. She's got multiple world titles.
And if I don't make this pick, Jack is sitting there at 2, just salivating.
yes, and with
It's the right pick. I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah,
just
I think
It's
saying.
the right pick. And it's, there's no debate.
Yes. But if there was a case for it, but you're right, because we saw Meg take advantage, who is a beast on the sleds, and we saw Vivian Tefudo take advantage on the sleds as well, who is the strongest athlete in this field. Viola was the other one who was able to put some space on her and almost out lean her. So, and who does
And she
do well
still
on
came
the
back.
sleds. Yes.
Still came back.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
Okay.
And Matt definitely took the right person in their gender first overall. The other argument would have been Alex Ronchevich, and he absolutely deserves. I know I always say his name incorrectly. But anyway, Alex, defending world champion, easy number 1 pick, dominated in Amsterdam. No reason why he shouldn't be picked right now.
Yeah, I mean that the first 2 picks in this draft were very important. I thought that was.
I will say you have to beat the man to be the man, but dominated. I don't know.
Overstatement.
I think that's an overstatement.
Okay, you're right. He was
James
losing.
Kelly was 20
Yeah,
seconds.
you're
Was
right.
20 seconds behind, and at one point,
Yvonne was ahead of him.
But at wall balls, at one point, JK was within 1 or 2 wall
one
balls.
rep.
So
Yeah, it was close.
So I'm just saying, the man from down under, this is almost a home race for him, as close as a home race can be for an Aussie. I mean,
Fair enough.
I'm just saying it wasn't
That's
dominating.
it wasn't dominant, but it was. They both ran particularly well, and he's obviously extremely fit.
He doesn't seem to mess up.
You're never
Not
getting
anymore.
worse second place from Alex.
It's interesting with these two top dogs. Like Lauren doesn't give up. So if something weird happens, you know she's going to still empty the tank all the way through the line. And we saw that. And Alex doesn't really mess up. So you're going to have to put it together to beat either one of these two. You're not going to catch a fluke because they don't seem to get too bothered by fluky things. We saw a fluke with the rower and what did he do? He seemed to not
Told
notice.
everybody.
He just
Yeah.
got pumped up about it, like hyped up the crowd and then ran really fast.
Yeah.
They're built for this moment.
Good pick. Good pick. I'm gonna go ahead and take JK here, the other athlete who who's shown that he will go out with Ronco. He's going to challenge him. I'm sure he's hungry. Like Matt said, is closer to home than anybody else.
Do we know what part of Australia is he from?
Aren't they all from the East Coast?
Yeah. So
I think he was like, I think I heard him say he's like an hour from Melbourne. I'm not really sure which side Melbourne's on.
All right.
No,
so,
neither is anybody. There's one
right.
there's one city on the west coast of
I think it might be Melbourne.
Australia.
That's Perth in the west.
Perth.
Yeah. 9.5 hours if it's Melbourne.
Light work, man. And JK's a traveler. He has no problem
Yeah.
doing absurd travels. This is gonna be easy for him. He's probably got
Yep.
his system locked in. But yeah, he's been fit. It's gonna challenge.
Everyone's made the right pick so far.
Yeah. There was a
JK's got a
switch
buzz
that
cut.
happened at Worlds last year, and he's not going back.
At Cologne.
What I feel like BK is going out on a limb. He led off with everyone's made the right pick so far. Tells me that BK is about to go to the wild card.
Now we're fine.
No, I don't think I'm gonna stray too far. I'm picking people that I usually pick, but are no longer considered straying too far, and that's going to be Rylan and Joanna. Like, I picked them both to be upsets, but they're not upsets anymore.
Yep.
Rylan, even though he's not like himself, really, he's still just clearly good enough that whatever he goes into, he's going to be in the mix.
Can we say that he's not himself anymore? I mean, the dude went out and ran a Spartan, did fairly well, at least had his running economy. Also put down, I believe, one of the fastest, if not the fastest, Deca Strong time of all time. And then went over to, I mean, I get it, like, or Deca Mile. I know that he's, I know that, he's saying that he's not 100% healthy, but his last 3 races, he has seemingly put it together. And honestly, he was the next. I mean, for a while, there was a chance that he was going to win Amsterdam. So can we really say that that he's not himself right now? Because like, I feel like that's not fair. He did a faster Deca Mile time, and he did a faster HYROX time than he'd ever done before.
You're right. And the only reason I don't say that is because I'm not going to take a shot at someone saying they're lying about their medical situation. What I do believe is he's not his normal self, but that doesn't mean he's not better than that normal self.
His results are just fine. Yeah.
Like, he's one of those athletes that seems to translate fitness to other forms of training as well as anyone I've ever seen in my life. And so when he can't run the way he wants to run, he seems to get better because he trains really hard on other things. So he is not himself, but he might be better at HYROX and Deca now than he was when he was himself. So I think you're right.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where like almost having a governor in place forces him to race a little bit smarter.
Yeah. And
I'm just saying, like, you're totally right, BK. I'm not going to speak to his health situation because only he knows his health situation. I'm just saying to put the asterisk on it when he's got 3 races in the last 2 or 3 months that prove that he is still capable of putting out.
If you just put his results on the screen and didn't say he's been medically reduced, no one would think, looking at this season, that it looks any different than what you'd expect him to do.
Sure.
Either way, healthy, unhealthy, these are my 2.
They're the right pick.
I still think these 2 have the highest room for improvement out of people who have potential to podium, because we never know what Rylan's capable of, and she's still so new to this sport. So if something wild is to happen, I mean, it's you said she's still not tested. She's not a veteran in this field, which is why she can't beat Lauren yet. But at the same time, maybe that's why she can, because she's the only one who has minutes to drop yet.
And now she does have experience in a major. We already saw her in Amsterdam, so this isn't the first time she's on the big stage and has faced big competition. And whatchamacallit, if you take a look at the podium from Amsterdam, you have 1 through 3 on the men's side and then 1 and 3 on the women's side. So the only person missing is Meg, and we have 5 picks so far. Kind of makes sense that you pick all the returning podium athletes.
Yeah.
These are the top 2 returners. I want JK and Joanna to double up in the race with Tia and
Oh yeah,
James Newbury.
They really should.
They really should.
Welcome to
Like,
the sport.
Yeah. Like, I know you guys.
I feel like JK's the guy to do it too, especially after the Ricky race where he got on the rower and kept saying, "Where's CrossFit?"
do the same thing.
JK's the guy to do it.
Yeah, he's got to do it. It's good for virality, and he'll be the punching bag for CrossFit again. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yep.
Good picks. All right, I'm gonna take Linda Meyer here. Not exactly sure what her fitness is looking like, but she was on the podium, I think, at every major last year. Is that correct? I think she was third.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think she took
for third.
I think she took second. Did she take second at DC when Meg took third?
Yep, she did. So I mean, she's been the one who's been ascending to challenge these top spots, and really, this and maybe 1 or 2 other athletes are the athletes that Joanna is the most threatening to. So Linda does have a little bit to prove here with this newer athlete coming in, and I think that she should be ready to take this spot here, because this would be a really strong opportunity for her to qualify and just like make a statement for this part of the season. Again, not exactly sure. I think she was just sick before Amsterdam, so I don't believe it was any type of long-term issue that she would potentially lose fitness from. And she's just good at this, man. She's a vet. She's been doing it a long time, and she knows how to perform.
Yep, she got 5th at Worlds last year in Nice, and 2 athletes, Meg and Vivian, are not showing up. So she's in theory the 3rd best from returning from World Championships on the board. Has a bunch of podiums from last year. Seems like the obvious pick.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, you made my life a little difficult. I thought I was going to get Linda, but I've been really impressed with her running so far. And just she seems to have leveled up. Kate Davey.
I like it. Good former guest on the HYROX show.
I am fuming inside right now. But
so you thought you were gonna get her?
See, now Matt's gonna be like trying to be objective here, but then he's gonna start interviewing these people, and it's gonna be all emotional for him. And we're gonna take.
No, it's fine, because we're
gonna take advantage of that. He's gonna be a wreck, and he's got nothing.
You are about to watch Jack's head explode, because I realize there is a mistake on this. Lucas Storath is not racing, but Michael Sandbach is, and
that's
so
right. Oh man,
give me Sandy.
Taking Sandy.
No. We have a rule against
the old white font. Yeah, right.
No, because I didn't realize it. Okay. Also, hold on a second. Not to throw you under the bus here, Jack.
I think it's good. I like it.
Literally, HYROX announced these lineups a week ago, and at 12:48 a.m., you send a thing and say, "Can you guys confirm that these are the right lineups?" When HYROX had sent it, so I can't be held accountable for the fact that you didn't.
We had a pre-race or a pre-recording going over one.
And I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it till I was looking at my little spreadsheet and realized I wanted Sandy, and I didn't see Sandy's name. So
if I were an impartial judge, which I'm not, I said one of you did the work and the other one didn't check it well enough.
Yeah,
it goes back on the person who did the work. You submitted a faulty list, and someone didn't catch your mistake.
I did catch 2 of your mistakes, but for the record, I caught 2 of them. So,
I think the only fair thing is, he's not available until the end of the round.
No way.
The end of the round.
Yeah, roughly the end or the start of next round, whatever.
Jack literally did this one time where he's like, "I'm going to take this person after I would have taken them," and I was like, "Oh well."
Hold on a second though. Hold on. I know I'm the new guy here. I just want to throw out that this isn't I mean, we're talking about a world podium finisher. This isn't an out of line pick. Yeah, this is not an out of line pick. Like, this is a completely fair pick for Sandy, unless Jack is going to say that he would have taken him over Kate Davey just now.
I probably would have.
Yeah.
I mean, you got second place at Worlds. But
I mean, if
want
it
him?
was announced
Take 'em.
online,
I don't know. I do a lot of figuring out.
I'm just saying, I'm looking
I
at
didn't
it
get
right here. It's on the
corner.
HYROX World
It's
announcement
literally,
from
yeah,
6
we
days
sent you,
ago.
we sent you
He's
the
the
link.
second name. He's the
No one
second name
replied
on
till
the
this
list.
morning.
You can't look at
And
the,
I
you can't-
caught,
Whatever,
and I
whatever.
caught 2 of your mistakes.
You know what? Kate Davies going to do better than Sandy. So
I
go
don't
ahead and have
disagree.
him.
That could definitely happen. This,
Go
this
ahead.
could
Keep 'em,
absolutely
Matt.
burn
Keep 'em, Matt.
Matt's draft.
this turned into Matt is the bad guy. I like this.
Oh, hey, hey,
How did
listen,
that-
at this point, I'm the
I'm on Matt's team.
loudmouth shit talker.
I'm picking
over
Yanka.
Rich
That's
on,
it.
on Race Brain. Here's my thing
that
on
Yanka
Sandy.
pick, that I'll never forget that, Jack. White font. And you're like, oh wait, he's not on here. And then I'm like, are you
No, there
kidding
was
me?
there was
I just
so
took
what
some,
I did.
I just took some
You didn't
scrub that
check
I've never
for
heard of.
disappearing ink, Rich?
I
No,
didn't
all
check.
these things they turn white font once they get selected, and I think there were like 2 cells at the bottom that I forgot to change that property to.
And he's like, oh,
and
who's
Rich
this person
hasn't let
who's
it
going to
go.
get like top 5?
Yeah,
I'll
go
just
ahead.
take
I
them.
believe in Kate. You might have
That's fine.
interviewed her.
I'm going with Sandy.
Yeah.
This is why I'm going with Sandy. Sandy said at the end of last year. So, Sandy talked about how he quit his job. He's now all in on HYROX in terms of competing and coaching. And he specifically said at Worlds that because the knock on Sandy was always, would he or would he not finish a race? And he specifically said, when your livelihood is on the line, that's all the motivation he needed to make sure that he finished the race. So he wasn't healthy for Amsterdam. That's why he pulled out. He went over to Vietnam like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he's been training over there. By the time the race happens, he'll have been over there for a month. So, and shout out to my boy, John Holman over at RoxOpt, has him with the 3rd highest probability of taking first here. So I'm taking Sandy.
RoxOp doesn't consider the DNFs. If there's no result, can't factor in.
When's
That's
the last
fine.
time he DNF'd? True, real question. Not trying to paint anyone in the corner.
The
Probably
race
the
with the
Stockholm
rowing
Worlds.
debacle.
Yeah, probably Stockholm. Or no, it wasn't Stockholm. It was Vienna.
Yeah, Vienna when Alex had the
didn't-
hometown race.
I
and
thought
the
there was
rowing
another.
issue.
I thought there was one that was not a major too. I don't think he had finished a race at Amsterdam.
Well, how do you say it? Dorha when he cramped?
Doha?
Door.
Yes, he did not. He did not finish Doha.
Door.
Doha.
All right,
But
Sandy
my man is not spending a month over there ahead of time when this is now his income source to DNF. That ain't happening.
So Sandy, if you go in between 2023 Manchester World Championship, he finished Malmo 58-59. He got 56-34 in Stockholm, and then his next race was in 2024 at Nice World Championships, where he got 2nd place. So not a lot of results last year.
It's fresh.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Ready to
I
rock.
feel comfortable with it. Then on the turn, I'm taking the other half of Rich Leo. Give me my boy, Pelayo
This is the pick.
Fernandez. You know why? Because my dude is fit. He is fit. He's healthy. The ankle's better. His athletes are crushing it. I believe in his training program. Give me the other half of Rich Leo. We are taking this thing.
That's the right pick right there, man. Got nothing to say about that. I mean, shows up at championship races too, right?
He does. He does. I mean, what's his worst finish at a major? 7th?
Something like that.
You know?
I like it.
Jack's all mad now.
No.
I
I'm
got
trying
Sandy.
to decide a couple people. This is tough. Pelayo makes sense. That's a very good pick.
Who did you take last round? You took Kate. Okay, right.
Yeah, Kate Davey. All right, I'm going on a wing. I'm hoping she's healthy again. Let's go, Michaela.
All right, that's a BK pick right there.
She has become my Richard Hynek.
Yeah.
And she's burned me one too many times. I'm glad that you took her.
So Michaela, she's finished 7 races, and 5 of them have been under 63. If she's healthy, just like with Rylan, she's gonna podium, or she has a very high likelihood of podiuming in this type of race. I don't know. I feel like it's worth the risk at this point.
The problem is she hasn't been healthy for so long.
I'm
now.
aware. Yeah.
And Rylan seems to outkick his sickness, and she seems to be really, really affected by it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
matters. But yeah, when she's right, she has shown to be one of the top 3 in the sport.
Yeah.
She's the
Yep.
let me see that she is the only athlete on this who have beaten Meg, or no, I guess Linda has, and Lauren at the same time while they were both healthy and in a race. So
Was that in Chicago?
that was in Chicago.
Something magical about that course, right?
Great.
She
course.
just doesn't
Right.
have performance enhancing respiratory illness. And that's
a problem.
really hard to side with.
It's tough. All right. Yeah, I like it because now we are at the point now. It's like, well, how these people are going to finish? It's now I think we're just rolling dice.
I don't like the word guarantees, but like the very high likelihood of placing well, those people are off the board. Like you know that they've got the highest ceiling. Those athletes are probably off the board at this point.
This race is going to be interesting for the sheer fact of, like, we always talk about how people travel, jet lag, not jet lag. Literally every single athlete, with the exception of Gabe Heck, is probably going to have some element of jet lag. I mean, even JK and Joanna, what did we say, 9 hours, 10 hours?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a haul for everyone. Kate Davey told me on the podcast that it was going to be a 15-hour flight, and it was still like 10 hours ahead of UK time. Like, I mean, this is going to be tough on all these athletes. So I agree. I think, yeah. A lot of people have been asking. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a good call. And you can't.
I mean, this
control
is
it,
going to be the
really.
race that's going to affect people. Like, we're going to see if it actually affects people.
The thing is, unlike OCR, where whenever we draft Abu Dhabi and it's like, oh, who's from the Middle East, they're probably going to have a little bit of an advantage. You have one athlete within like a 3-hour flight, maybe one within like a 9-hour flight. Realistically, if you're looking at Australia, there isn't a real hometown advantage. It's just how much less sucky is your flight.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking here. Seeing there's 5 athletes on the board. I don't know who could beat any of those 5. Potentially someone could outperform. On the women's side, there are also 5 athletes on the board, but I think there's an athlete on here who could potentially get like second, and that's Lauren Griffin.
Ooh. Dang. I was
The
hoping
only
she was
other
going to
athlete-
fall.
Only Lauren's traveling from the U.S. on the women's side.
So that's a good reason to draft them, Jack. Thank you for that analysis.
Yeah.
Then
Man, Matt has Jack shook.
Hey, we've got multiple.
Listen, I'm living rent free in that brain right now.
Yeah.
He is shell shocked right now.
I don't know what to do.
Got him.
Yeah.
but we've seen Lauren Griffith be really aggressive. And without there being Meg Jacoby in this as well. And I don't know if she knows Lauren Weeks so well in terms of how her fitness will stack up. I don't know if she'll be as aggressive. We've been saying this a couple of times now. Like if she could pull back just some, that she will put herself in better position. We've seen her be aggressive and then fade, but her fitness has the ability to compete with anyone in this at the top here. And I don't see a lot of the names that are off the board. I can see her and going toe to toe with.
To your point, she beat every other. I mean, she finished 5th at Amsterdam, so she beat every other woman on the board that has not already taken,
right?
Except with the exception of Linda.
She and Michaela are like, we just keep repeating the same preview information about her. Like, she's ready. She can ascend. She can do this. Race tactics, whatever. Like, she's there, and she came really close to showing like the full arsenal.
Yeah, and didn't she show up to Sydney like 18 hours before the race and then drop like a 60,
62 or something?
Yeah, so she's going to be, I mean, Hong Kong is not going to be that much different. And I think I would assume that she went over earlier.
And you don't start running into travel issues if you didn't, I mean, typically, if you didn't have them originally. Like, you generally get better at traveling. So if she's already done it once, in theory, that's a really good sign for this race. That's a great point. Yeah, she's
good pick.
Done this type of travel. Thank you.
Guy's hot right now.
Well,
on a heater.
I'm going to revert to form here.
Let's go.
All right. So I'm impressed with 2 people right now, and I get to take them both.
Hell yeah.
Ida, Matilde Steensgaard.
I like it.
And Sebastian Iverson.
You know this is not an OCR event, right?
Jack's back.
Yeah.
BK shooting.
Ida has as much success in her given sport as you can really have and she hasn't yet turned into the HYROX equivalent version of that until her most recent race. Suddenly she just showed like it's translating, and she's hot right now, and you got to go with the hot hand.
I like it. I
We're
think
past
this.
the guarantees. She's got an upside here.
I think the Zeta pick is great. I saw her on the board a couple of times. I was like, man, I have a feeling that she will do well here. She seems to be more committed to this. I drafted her in an OCR event. She decided not to go. So it seems like that she will be ready for this HYROX event. And she does seem interested in it. And you're right. Like she does have the pedigree to perform at a high level world champion in a different aspect. So now let's see what she can do in this fitness game. And like you said, all these other women, like she is as good as them. Like physically,
Yeah,
right? She just doesn't have the
engine-wise.
experience. Yeah.
And I just keep getting this image of her running down, chasing Lindsay Webster at OCR World. Like that thing that you have to not give up against the GOAT. I just can see that coming out from like lunges on in. I can just see an Ida charge coming. She has that gear that can't be taught. And if she translates fitness over to the point where in the back half of a race, she's in the race, that thing can set her apart from this field.
Yeah, Ida's had a remarkable run recently. In 2024, she did Copenhagen and Cologne, and both of those times were 66 and a half, 67 minutes or so. And now her past two races have been 62:19 and 62:35. So she has elevated her game. I think we haven't seen her as much in OCR, and I think that clearly shows she's focusing on hybrid. That's a real good opportunity for her. And look at the results speak for themselves.
She's gonna have to get these wall balls down a little bit. She's above 4 minutes in those last two races where she was 62, but I guess that could be a sign of confidence, right? Because a lot of these women are 3:30 and below. So maybe there is 30 seconds there if she can clean that up, and if she can make that kind of charge that BK is talking about.
But I like it. I like getting back to form and shooting from the hip. And Iverson, man's been running fast. Let's give him on this stage and let him cook a little bit. He's the answer. Is he the question or the answer?
Alan's brother, right? Yeah.
Right now he's the question for sure, especially with this pick. It's like what?
But we're gonna get an answer this weekend.
He is the question out here. What country are we talking? Where is he from?
Both of them are from Denmark.
Denmark, the Danish question.
Danes travel well.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's a thing people know.
People know that it is known.
People been talking about it. Yeah.
The Danish question. BK takes it. This is going to be his first Elite 15 appearance, I believe. So who cares?
Definitely.
No problem. Easy peasy.
Worked out for Joanna in her first time. So
True that.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you. I'm going to take Tim Vinish.
Damn it. I literally my internal monologue just now was these dudes always disrespect him, and he is going to fall back to this round. And I'm just going to do another gotcha. And then Rich, who is just hotter than the sun right now, blowing me up.
Yeah. Everyone on my team should be like, nice. Because Tim, he's been not super healthy the past year or so. He's been open and saying that he is now back. Incredibly aggressive in that Amsterdam race. That is how he likes to run, and almost finished fourth in that race and just faded a little bit too much in the last piece of that race. And if he can replicate that and maybe has his fitness a little bit more sound,
2 more months of fitness, 2 more months
for sure. So he could be, I mean, what was he off the board? He was right behind Pelayo at
he's the
Vienna last year.
Yeah. He's the 7th guy off the board in this draft, and he just got 5th at the last major in Amsterdam. So good value pick.
With the addition of, Sandy and Sebastian. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for the sport when he's good, because he's a good time trialer kind of athlete. Like he can just go run, pop fast times, but he's also so incredibly inoffensive that he's just like a nice guy to root for.
Just like the guy. Yeah.
And we haven't seen for a long time him just translate all that over because he's had roadblocks in front of him. So if he's truly back, I think it's just a good thing for HYROX in general.
Well, people forget he was the second fastest man for a while, right? Like he was other than Hunter, when Hunter had a 55,
he went 57,
Tim put in like a 56? I thought Tim put in like a 56.0
something.
Oh, 56.07 in Cologne.
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
Cologne. If anybody needs a course, head out to Cologne.
Alone. Or Chicago. Tim was giving Ronco work. Like Tim was the guy. And then he was the only person who beat Tobias in the year that Tobias ended up with COVID and couldn't compete. But after his world championship, Tim was the only guy who was beating him that year. Like he was the dude.
I have never attained anything in this sport, but one thing I can relate to with Tim is that feeling of watching people that you used to be competitive with become something and just thinking, why not me? Like that is such a powerful, like eat at you emotion to have, especially when it's not your fault. He knows like I've been dealt a hand and Ron got dealt a different hand, and that could be me. And the first time he gets to let that out on course is going to be exciting to watch.
Nice. Jack, you're up.
My pick. Well, we're talking about people who ran fast times on fast courses, and this guy got disrespected like crazy when he dropped a 56.27 in Berlin earlier this year. Then he showed up, ended up getting 6th place in Anaheim, last chance qualifier, pretty decent. Got 3rd place in Nice in his age group, but his past 2 races have been 56.46 and 56.37. Yannick Chopla, got to go with him. He has arrived.
And that could be the case, right? One of the younger athletes in the field. He's just going to keep getting better and better, have more confidence. He doesn't seem to be afraid of these moments. And he's had a couple now. So a while back, we were like, Berlin, dumb course, no way. And he's proven us wrong. He truly has. So he
ended up beating Tim by a few seconds. Last
finishing
major,
4th,
so.
right? Yeah, if he does that again, he qualifies for Worlds. Good pick.
All right. Well, this next pick, I feel like people forget because HYROX is a recency thing, but people forget there's someone out there who we've been talking about being in that next class right behind Megan Lauren for like 2 years now. Give me Viola Oberlander. Want it. She like never does worse than 5th ever in a major. Or if she's racing, she's going to stick her nose in it. She stuck her nose in at Worlds. Obviously, there was the weird thing that happened with the wall balls, people getting pulled out. I think she may have crossed and then I think she actually crossed 2nd and then got pulled back because there was a miscommunication on the wall balls. That's the last time we saw her race. She got sick right before Amsterdam. There's no reason to think that her fitness isn't there. And she has beaten everybody on this board multiple times, with the exception of Joanna, who she hasn't raced, and Lauren Weeks. Give me Viola.
It's good value. Incredible value.
Her at 8 is foolish.
We screwed this up.
I don't like the look of his team. I'm with Jack. I think we need to take away Sandy.
It's only right.
I think
It's getting scary.
Well,
it's scary hours out here. It is scary hours.
And Rich and I'll just do a jump ball for Sandy.
So Viola, she's raced 12 majors or world championships through the years, and her average place is 5.2. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, very reliable. She hasn't made a podium since the 2022 European Championship, though. So it's been a while, but she's very consistently in that 4 through 6 range most races.
But not making that podium is because there has been the podium
Meg.
has been locked by Lauren, Meg, and then a combination of Michaela, who we just talked about may not be healthy, and Linda Meyer, who's also one of the greats on the women's side. So,
and I don't care that she doesn't show up on the podium at Worlds last year. She was the 2nd or 3rd best person there.
She outperformed where we thought she was going to do. Like she
left one wall ball early on a no rep. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. She didn't do any, there was no fitness component to it. She was the 2nd or 3rd best person there. And that's who she was the last time we saw her.
Good pick. Who else?
Well, I'm going to channel my inner Rich here. Give me Bo Wills.
Nice. Bay Wills, hun. I like it.
What is he here? Like how many dudes have we taken? 4,
He's 9th off the board.
6, 9th off the board. Wait, he's not doing that bad. I mean, Bo is, what did he finish 7th in Amsterdam?
He will finish 7th in this race.
Yeah. So again, value.
Bo's gonna qualify for Worlds because he's just gonna keep
Bo
getting
knows.
7th.
Bo
and
knows.
will just make it eventually.
Maybe this race. Who knows?
Well, 6th potentially.
Yeah, well,
make it this race.
He might eat someone up.
He's definitely gonna eat somebody up. He always does. in terms of lunges and wall
Well,
balls.
he came in at
no one's better.
Amsterdam. He came into lunges like 12th or
That's what I'm
13th.
saying.
And then those pistons just
He's a tall
got
dude
to
too.
work.
He just
got to work.
I like it. That'll score well.
His racing's so interesting to me because it's always that battle of, are the people ahead of him going to get better at not fading, or is he going to get better at not starting so far back?
Is
And
he
it's
the Australian
fascinating to
David
watch him
Magida?
race.
He's a Kiwi.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is he the New Zealand David Magida? Just gonna run his race and then just be there and just eat
No,
people
he
up?
seems likable.
Yeah, agree with BK. But racing wise, good parallel.
For your sake, I hope so, and that he warms up and pulls out.
All right, Bo, love the guy. Think it's a good pick. Gonna get 7th. Jack, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with another European, Graham Halliday. And
I like it. I like it.
7th at Worlds last year, and then the previous World Championship in Manchester got 5th. It's just been popping off good times. Like, let's see how many in a row. He's had 7 straight races of 59:27 or faster. He dropped a 56:33 in Stuttgart earlier this year. I just think he's very consistent and reliable at this point.
I agree. I'm glad he got this roll down because he has also had like performing well at Chicago, which wasn't a very fast major course, not Chicago, in DC, has made him not pop onto these other fast courses that these athletes who have qualified ahead of him have. So in terms of performance on the big stage, like, yes, he is proven. He's run fast already this year. Like, I think he has a shot to qualify in this race.
100%. It's a great pick.
If you're a legit 56 and change guy, why not? Like, not many people are Rich Ryan. He can just say, I'm 2 minutes faster than you.
It's true. Only like 3. All right. Dang. I was hoping that would be who I got there. All right. We are going to go. How far? I don't know how. Geography. All the geography we know is Greater Milwaukee. Gabe Heck is closer than everybody else here, I believe. Just got in. He's going to be jazzed up. His fitness has got to be there. He just ran an awesome time. I like him in this spot. And also Wisconsin boy.
That's right.
And an APAC boy. This is a win-win for me. Can't believe he's still on the board. Give me Gabe Heck. How far? Where does he live, Jack?
Thailand, right?
Thailand.
Thailand. How far is that?
3-hour flight from Bangkok to Hong Kong.
Man, that's
Rich had a
easy
further
peasy.
flight to DC or to
Seriously.
Chicago.
Barely finish a
dude's gonna
movie
run
by the time you
he's
do
gonna run
take off.
53. He's gonna run at 53.
Can't finish the Dune series or nothing in that time. That's great. I'm very happy with this pick. He seems to be in shape. Seems to be dedicated to it. Wisconsin boy. Gonna be jazzed up to make this happen. He's gonna be Pelayo. Pelayo from Chicago last year. Hometown. Last second call up. You guys are cooked. I got this thing in the bag. All right.
Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
We're all gonna be rooting for him.
Every person this round that's been taken has frustrated me. Every single person.
Bracken, I believe there are 2 athletes who have an OCR background still on the board in case you wanted to choose that.
Don't
This
you
feels
worry.
Like, this feels like reverse psychology. You should not listen to what Jack's saying.
I already
Jack's
have
setting
my
you up.
first pick locked in.
Uh-huh.
Jack can choke on it. Sarah Piergiani.
She's not one of them.
She's not one of them.
He's not gonna lead me astray. I feel like he's lost a little bit of his shine ever since this
The
Michael
Sandy debacle.
Sandbach debacle.
That's
yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah, he's got his phones up in front of him. He's pouring through. How could this happen?
Jack's
flustered.
demise. When
Flustered.
Jack turns heel at this moment. His
Turns
his
heel.
origin
My
story.
villain arc right here.
Yeah.
And I am really, really torn here. On brand is to go Sadiq, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
I'm still a believer. Give me John Wynn.
Win.
Let's go.
He's been over there.
I like it. I like it.
I believe I took him last time, and everyone's like, "Oh, nah, he's not ready. He's not healthy." And
No, I took Win, and y'all gave me trouble for it.
Is that what it was? Well, I felt for you because we share area codes essentially, and I felt
That's
your
right.
pain through that, and that's what I'm remembering. But either way, I still
He did
believe it.
well. He did well. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That was the burpee snafu.
He had the
My
burpee
bad.
fiasco.
They did
Ran a
not. Yeah,
fast
he had the
time.
burpee fiasco. Yeah, did not do well.
We were
But
at
he's not going to make that mistake again.
we were out getting like a burger and a brewski.
He didn't make the mistake, for the record. The judge did.
He's
Burger
not going
and
to
a
have that
brewski.
happen again.
supposedly. And I'm sitting there having a nice time talking to people at their table, and Matt and Debo are off to my right hand side. They're talking strategy about this draft. They're sitting there talking about the draft, and Matt was thinking we weren't going to draft win. He thought he was going to take him at the wild card position.
Actually, what happened was Debo goes, the race brain guys hate John Wynn, so you should be able to get him for great value. And I said, you're not wrong.
He had this nugget he wanted to drop to Matt. I had to tell him.
He
At-
said
at
it so.
dinner.
He said it so loud. Rich is talking to 3 people. We're in a bar. Like it's like so. Rich shouldn't be able to hear it, but Debo just says this so loud that Rich turns around and goes, "I don't hate Win."
And Rich doesn't speak for us.
Yeah,
I am Ray's
We're big
brain.
boys.
I am Ray's brain.
so funny.
What did he call you?
Real quick, by the way, just
called
on
you out on that
value,
one time?
we kind of blew past this. Zara was the 9th woman off the board.
Yes.
She finished 7th at Amsterdam and beat all of these people with the exception of Meg. If Meg's not there, 6, and she
Yeah.
has also been ascending. So BK with good value.
I like that pick too.
I don't want to go past that either because I made a point when I watched that race and then looked through it. I thought if she's there next time, I really regret not taking her. She was just available, and I felt bad that I just felt dumb, and so I'm very happy I got to take her this time.
I think she is the female Bo. Like we might not see her early.
Happy with that.
She's going to hit those lunges hard, finish wall balls well. Yeah, I think that's a good pick there. All right, I'm up.
Yep.
Give me Jess Petro.
The fact that the Jesses are around it speaks to the depth of field.
And Jess Petro finished 6th last time, right?
Yeah.
She is in her first major, stuck her nose directly in it. I mean, she is a tremendous athlete. She lives in the United States, from down under. So it's going to be close enough that I think that matters, right?
She's made this trip many times, surely, across the Pacific.
No problem.
Easy.
So I
Surely.
like the spot for her. Like, again, she could be in the mix to qualify for a spot as she just continues to get better at HYROX. So taking it. I have a lot of the hybrid engine on hybrid engine tree here.
Yeah, you do.
I don't think I like that very much. I'm going to change. Anybody want to trade? Anybody want to trade JK for something else?
Yeah.
I'll do it. Yeah.
JK for picks, for future picks.
Yeah.
All
right. My turn.
Yep.
All right. So the woman I'm going with ended up winning the age group world championship overall in Nice, Seka Arning, with a 101.53 that day. I think she's got a lot of potential.
OCR.
Is she from OCR?
No,
She hasn't done any OCR.
not that I'm aware of.
Oh, I thought I've seen her on results.
No.
Well, hopefully,
Maybe-
I whispered
maybe she
that
did like
low enough
one or
that the
two.
audience didn't hear it.
She ran so well at Nice that I thought for sure, she was someone to watch this season. Didn't have a great showing at Amsterdam, but her potential is clearly there.
Yeah,
So-
and she did get 7th place at a major last year in Stockholm, and she was 12th in Amsterdam. So you're right, that's not the best finish, but I feel like she has a high ceiling.
I agree. I like the pick.
Matt, close it off.
Yeah, so I am gonna go with if Joanna was the shooting star heading into Amsterdam, there is someone on this board who ran a blazing fast time that is still sitting there that everybody has already forgotten about. Give me the 16 to 24-year-old age group, Lena Putters? How are we saying that name? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Ran a blazing fast time in Hamburg. Her stock is soaring high. I just don't think that she's gonna. I think she's gonna do it.
I think in America we'd say putters, right? But
Yeah, I would say putters.
just
but
do what
got a
Jack
golf
does and just like
background.
say Jack just says like the name a little bit different. So like no,
like,
it's
oh, that's not
Pewters.
smart. Yeah.
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 No, it's
Yeah.
What was
I
the one
mean,
you were
shouldn't that be
telling
Kate Davies' last name right there? Because Precision Golf Kate putter.
me? There we go.
Mm.
Insight.
Ooh. Jack, you got kids at home now?
I do
Damn,
not.
that was a dad
Oh,
joke.
God,
Dad joke. He's got a dad joke book though.
Dad
You should
jokes.
write that shit down.
yeah. Bracken, take notes.
Good pick.
And Matt.
So yeah, this is more like a wild card situation for her. We haven't seen her in this position. She did just beat Ida, or Ida did an extra lap, but she ran 61 and change.
Yeah. So I was actually hoping to get her back because I have adjusted times. I know I'm no ROX opt, but I did put the numbers in Jack's butt, and she's got the 8th fastest adjusted time of the year.
Okay.
I think she's the real deal.
I'm excited to see
Man.
how she performs. I really am.
I think she's gonna do great. With my wild card pick, there's somebody else.
Oh,
sitting
who
out
else?
here.
Hunter? Anyone else?
No, there's somebody
Oh.
else sitting out here who actually placed ahead of some of these people in Amsterdam as well. Give me Yana.
All right. Yeah, high potential for her. She could absolutely score for you in this.
Yeah, I mean, what 102.43? She was just behind Zara and Jess Petro in Amsterdam. I think she finished within 10 seconds of Zara, 20 seconds of Jess Petro. So, she's run some good times this year. I feel good about it.
Jack.
All right. I've got to go with the oldest guy on the board, Jeffrey Vossin.
Nice.
Realistically, I know he's probably raced more than anybody. Looking over this, he's got 26 races under his belt.
He's not running slower than 58.0.
No,
so.
every single time. And he ended up getting 9th place in Amsterdam. You do not want him near you at the end of a race.
Totally.
See what he
He's
does.
not dropping those wall balls.
He's not going to finish.
dropping
He's not going to finish 13th. He's like going to
No.
finish 9th or something, or 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could score.
I mean, if you look at all of his last chance qualifiers or majors, world championships, his average is 8.8. So you know what you're going to get out of him.
He's going to eat you up. He's the guy. He's the guy charging.
He just ran 2 races in a day. Dude's feeling fit.
That's incredible. 40 plus. I'm so sore from the race I just ran.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Rich.
I might be sore until Saturday. And Joffrey's out here doing 2 of them.
You also got 20 minutes downtime before you went out and had to run a 3:15 1K.
Yeah, but
I was doing burpees and farmers. I had the easy ones.
But Rich wasn't even on the course long. How can you be so tired?
When'd you
Only a
burpee?
54-minute race.
Dude,
Not
his
a
relay burpee, he was working.
Not the world record. 128.
That's disgusting.
Slower than my last time. I was
off a 3:16 1K. Dude was
They
flying.
have tougher standards for burpees.
I
now.
asked him before he took off. I go, "You think you can get back here in 5 minutes?" And he goes, "Let's see." And sure enough, he came back in under 5 minutes.
It was under 5. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, no, hell yeah. Nice job, me.
444 right there.
That was
It was cooking.
that
He
was
was cooking.
I was so happy to be done with that relay. When I was sitting, I was like, I cannot believe I'm doing this right
What
now. But
effort level was that 315?
It was maybe like an 8.5. I was like, let me just see how this is feeling. And dude, the Old Rebellion Pro 2s ripped my pinky toe to shreds. Like the whole side of my left pinky toe is gone.
Really?
Yeah. The big old blood spot.
So you got to tape that pinky from now on?
Pinky's getting taped. Tape on it right now. But we're breaking them out again. We gotta get the one of the twos drop, a 3's dropping. Have we seen? We got a date on those?
They're out.
The 3's are out?
Come on, man.
We're losing Jack. Jack is
No. I was about to chime in with my own
Jack's
sheet talk
going,
right
Jack's
there.
going
Speaking of
comatose.
carbon,
I was gonna say I actually have a critique on the new shoes that I tried. Those heels got blisters.
We wear the ultras.
Yeah, the Ultra Vanish Carbons. I've never had an issue with any shoe with their heel, but you know how they have that like really flimsy material on a lot of these super shoes on the heel.
Mhm.
Thing tore my Achilles to like blisters to shreds.
Just pull a VJ. Just start chopping them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be seeing that, man.
listen, this is not shoe hour, Jack. We got to move on.
I know we don't want to talk about that. Let's make that a standard for the show.
Am I up? Am I up?
Stay on task, Jack.
Yeah.
Shoes with you.
That's all. That's it. As you have the entire panel surrounded.
goodness.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take Sadiq here. He is the wildest of wild cards. I'm happy to have him here. I thought he could do really well in terms of talent level. He's top 3 to 5 in this, and just uses a little bit of restraint in his tactics. I believe he will show up much better than he did last race, where I think he just got a little excited to be there and to be aggressive up front.
What?
But,
Yeah, wasn't he leading?
he was certainly
at
leading.
first.
He did
And
that
like not by a little bit. Like he took off like a bat out of hell, and he was gone on that first run.
He did that in Anaheim as well for last chance qualifier. I think that was like a 2.5 lap course, and he was winning by like 15 seconds in the first lap. I was like, how is this even possible? How could you be this far ahead of everybody in one lap here? But so I think if he shows some restraint, I think he will do just fine.
Not to go on not to go on a tangent here, but this will be interesting because we do know that Rylan likes to take it out and does the thing where he looks over his shoulder to see if anyone's going to go with him. Is Sandy the most likely to say no, not today, and go out with him?
Yes.
Rylan might be chasing Sandy. And
it's hard to get in front of Sandy and Alex.
Yeah.
But Rock let him go. Do we think Sandy lets him go, or would Sandy go for it? Because that could be fun to watch right away from run one.
I hope so.
Assume Sandy and Ronk are going to be joined at the hip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't foresee this
working
being
together.
This is not going to be a sit and kick type of race if we're comparing it to track. You're gonna see a breakaway pretty early. And real quick on Sadiq, if you look at his last 4 races, his average is 58.17. So, and he has that major experience. I know he got 14th in Amsterdam, which wasn't the best, but at least he got that nervousness out of the way, and he's been there before at this point. But 58.17 is pretty solid. 4 races in a row.
Well, Rich said that's the ultimate wild card. But I think you guys all forgot what the wild card's for. It's not just the 7th round of the draft. It's for wild cards.
Chris Brown.
Chris Rogloski.
Oh.
It's for, could someone show up who can shake this thing up? It's not for who's the next person on the list who hasn't been picked. That's no fun.
This is crazy. This is wild.
Sadiq is not the ultimate wild card. Someone who's not on the list is the ultimate wild card who is a world champion.
And does OCR, look at your team, it makes
and
sense.
has a plane ticket. Yeah. So I think she'll be there. Good callback, BK. I like this.
Thank you. It's a wasted pick. Yeah. That's okay.
I mean, I almost
my life a
Rich.
quarter mile at a time.
I was considering picking Rich, but figured that wouldn't happen.
I ain't going. But I'll tell you I'm going just to screw with you, screw with your whole sheet. Matt won't correct you.
Yeah, I guess my question on Chris is, I mean, obviously she's got the plane ticket. I saw she made an Instagram post the other day. It does not look like she kind of talked about what her season was going to be. She did not mention any of the majors or the last chance qualifier. So, I mean, does anyone have any insight? Is she just going to focus on doubles and OCR, or is she? I
mean, she did doubles this past weekend, so
I know they do have aspirations to qualify for doubles. Yeah. I don't know. I'm if like her weekend's free for the last chance qualifier, she'll probably go.
She's gonna be on a plane. Yeah.
If I needed to read anyone in the sports list to like put stock in what their season means, hers would be the last one I'd choose to read. Like I would trust her hundreds that she has on there. And outside of that, like her list is like Rylan's list to me. Right. I just kind of just like brainstorming.
I think letting her body heal a little bit after her knee issue. I think whenever Chris does show up, she's going to be back to the old Chris that we're used to.
Want to recap these teams?
Let's go, Matt. Lead it off.
Great wild card, by the way, Bracken.
Team.
Gosh, this team. I mean, my guys are cooked. I mean, they're just cooked. We got Lauren Weeks, arguably one of the greatest of all time. Michael Sandbach, will he show up? I don't know, but if he does, you should be scared.
You don't know. Yeah.
Pelayo, Menendez, Fernandez. The other half of Rich Leo. Viola, Bo Wills, Lena Putters, Yana Liebenstedt. Feeling good.
You got a good top 4, but you definitely took a wild card with your white font.
Does cooked mean good things now?
I think we're cooked.
No, if you're cooked, I mean you're cooked, as in like. So
our team is.
Yeah. Feel good about my team.
All right. I've got Alexander Ronchevic, Kate Davey, Michaela Norman, Yannick Chapla, Graham Halliday, Seka Arning, and Joffrey Voisin.
That Graham pick is so solid.
It is.
That's Rich's boy. That's Rich's European boy.
For sure.
I'm not mad.
Great dude. He has a dachshund. Okay.
Ah, there we go.
What else you need to know? My team is James Kelly, JK, Linda Meyer, Lauren Griffith, Tim Venish, Gabe Heck, Jess Petro, and Sadiq El-Fattori. Killers.
And we got Team Reach over here. Chris Rogloski, John Wynn, Zara Piergiani, Sebastian Iverson, Ida Matilde Steensgård, Joanna Vitrick, and Rylan Shadegg.
Yeah.
Team OCR.
It's not Vitrick, but I feel like I want some
Isn't it
German
Wettrick?
V in there.
Well, it's
Yeah, it's
German stuff.
Wettrick.
We're getting used to saying
Yeah.
that. Wittrick.
Wettrick. Yeah.
I don't like Matt's team. I
Yeah,
don't like that he's
cheating-ass
cheating.
team.
That's
I
not what we
This is-
stand for on this
this is
podcast.
Like
That's a
BK,
little-
you got the same message I did. I also sent the same resources.
I
that
didn't
you got
read
to
it.
view. Well,
This
okay,
is Jack.
so how
this is
can
the
you
Jack
be
problem.
mad?
No, I'm not getting blamed for this crap.
you didn't read
What do
the
you mean?
assignment. How's that my fault?
I don't
I'm
understand.
not here saying
You're in,
I've been...
you're in charge of Excel next time, all you guys. There we go. Easy.
See, Jack gets all salty.
No,
I could do it. I've done it before.
This isn't
Jack.
one of
Don't
those
think I
cases where
can't.
he messaged 300 athletes and 17 replied and then one message
I
during.
prefaced
This is
it.
a
I
case where
prefaced it that his head was
HYROX
gonna
put out a
explode. I
message
said his head's gonna
to the
explode.
world.
Bracken, my response rate is much higher than that. You gotta. I've got.
This
sources.
is simply a social media post was put out to the world and you didn't see it.
No,
Jack,
I
let
said.
that's okay.
Jack, let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. that
let me
working
talk,
at
Matt.
1
All right.
Let this be a lesson that working at 1 a.m. doesn't always lead to the best results.
11:48. I go to bed at midnight anyway, so I was prepping. My message was, let me know who's correct or wrong so I can fix them before tomorrow's draft. And then you sent me a list, and
I don't want to bite the hand that feeds, but it would seem like checking HYROX's post of who's going would be like the first thing I'd check.
When was that posted? Like
6
days ago?
before this draft.
Whatever. You guys are in charge. That's fine. We'll do the recap. You're in
It's
charge.
a
You're gonna tell.
classic response to the initial hardship.
Yeah.
You
I had a
did
bad
this
enough.
before.
I had a
on
bad
the-
enough weekend. Okay, let's.
I'm in a sweet spot where I'm not going to do any work no matter what. So I can complain or judge, and it doesn't matter to me. I'm not reading the messages either way.
People like to
I'm
hear
gonna
you
come
talk. That's all you
unprepared.
need to know. People like how
Yeah.
you talk, BK. So you just show up and
That's all we
talk, and
need.
people like it. And we'll just
I like it,
criticize
Credible.
Jack, and it's gonna be great.
Easy.
All I do is talk and duck. That's it. I'm not going to race, and I'm gonna flap my gums.
Bracken's just getting ready for that deck of dog. That's all that matters to him.
These Rebellion Pro 3s are different on the bottom than the Rebellion Pro 2s. And I thought that
Slightly
it was
only, right?
Yeah, slightly, but I
They have the
might not-
teeth, right?
Since we
They
are
have the
doing
teeth.
shoe talk, BK Jennifer Thompson went out with sweatpants, no lie, and alpha flies.
She won
She
on the
gave
women.
he gave everybody that work and some
Alpha
sweatpants
threes,
and alpha
right?
flies. I think
I think
so.
Yeah,
I
think
would
they were
race
the
in
Green,
threes.
the green and blue ones.
They were
Yeah,
alphas.
yeah. They've got like an adapted waffle lug on the bottom. I think the threes are a viable option.
You were my first thought. I was like, I wish BK was here to see that we had someone racing in alpha flies.
And sweats, I love it.
And sweats.
I live my life every single day with sweats
Sweats
rolled
and
up to
alpha
my
flies.
calves. Sweats rolled up to my calves. That's all I do.
BK goes for a walk with the kids in alpha flies.
Generally, you never know if
That's
someone's
right.
gonna like snatch your wife's purse and you got to run them down.
You got to be there efficiently.
Especially in Stalis.
Like you're not gonna run them down by the first stop signs. You got to have staying power to get to the first red light.
That's right.
All right,
That's right.
real just one other thing on Gabe Heck. I think that he's definitely gonna have a stellar performance. He's the reigning APAC champion from 2023 for Spartan Race, and he skipped it this past weekend so that he could go all in on this. Do you want to know who won APAC this weekend?
I know who did.
No, Bracken, take a guess.
He got over the slip wall.
This man made it back from Abu Dhabi.
Magic Mervin?
Magic Mervin. Yep, he's our APAC champ.
He took the win.
What?
did.
2.5
Football,
years
not
to get
this-
over there, but he made it back. Yep.
All right, now,
All right,
now,
last-
now Matt's checked out because shoe talk. We checked out Jack.
Yeah.
No,
was
no,
real
no.
good talk.
I
Matt's
love
out.
OCR. I love listening to Bracket talk about OCR. I don't know shit about OCR. Last question for you all on this Hong Kong race, though. We said last week that it was going to take 56 high to win Chicago. Turns out it took 54 mid. What's it going to take on the men's and women's side to win this race in Hong Kong?
Predicting times is
55
Times don't matter.
It has to be 54 if it's any like yeah, I don't know. 54 flat.
Yeah, 54 low.
And And Lauren, she's probably going to run 59 teens.
59 flat. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Another one. Who's going to qualify? Who's coming out of here with a bid?
Ryland
Sandy,
already has one. Yeah.
Sandy, Pelayo. Sandy, Pelayo, Tim,
I like that.
Linda, Kate. And even though I'm going against my own team here, Lauren Griffith.
I think Ida's going to get that third one.
Country over team. I like that, Matt.
That's right. USA. I wanted Lauren Griffith. She just wasn't there. So.
Yeah. I think Yannick, he's going to get a spot. Yannick, Pelayo, Sandy.
I think pretty much my whole roster.
Sebastian,
BK is sweeping.
Ida.
Sweeping.
I'm gonna go Pelayo, Tim, and Graham.
Ooh, I told you. That's
Make
Rich's
them earn it
mains.
make them wait another, the new guys, the new era. Make them wait another major.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest question of all, Rich, where would you have finished?
You know,
Can't say worse than third. He's the
I've
fourth
looked.
fastest man, and the fastest man isn't there.
I've looked at my previous results, thought about it. I do good race, bad race, good race, bad race, good race, bad race. So I don't know. 13
No.
probably.
Let's pretend you took your fit, like you just didn't race in Chicago, but you were ready and you went over there a week early. Where are you finishing?
Oh, in that case, then I would be on my good race.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going for. Like
Rich would have been up to his neck in ladyboys all week. He's not going to be focused on the race.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I wasn't ready for
I
that.
don't know, man. I don't know
I
how
wasn't ready
fast
for that.
fast are these sleds? You know, if I get a 225
you're on the
sled,
podium.
great.
Doesn't matter.
Put me on the podium.
The sleds are slow, and
You're
you still
officially
pull
a sled
240.
guy. You need light sleds.
I need
That's
light
it.
sleds.
That's it.
Yeah,
If it's
you
heavy,
are
I'm
a
not-
sled guy.
If it's heavy, I'm in trouble. But if it's light sleds, I'm rolling.
We're adding you to that list of if there's light sleds, you got to watch out for this guy.
That's fine. Put it in the bio.
Yeah, I also liked how you said that you ran slow after the sled push, and you still put like a 3:45 on that third run.
It was my slowest run of the day.
I know, but it's just funny that was the slow. Yeah, I took it easy. Nice little
Nice and
3:45.
comfortable, nice and easy. And
6
after
minute
burpee
pace.
broad jumps, though, just boom after burpees.
Hammer. Dude, we knew it was over after the pull. I was out there screaming my head off. We knew it was over.
Matt screamed at me, and I screamed back at him, and it was awesome.
It was awesome. I was like, "It's your effing day," and he was like, "F yeah, it is." I was like, "Ah!"
All right, let's wrap this thing up. Thanks for
how we
joining us today. What's that?
We're gonna watch this.
Oh, do you guys want to pop on for a recap that morning?
Yeah, we're gonna do an instant reaction. Yeah, an instant
Instant-ish.
reaction.
Instant-ish.
What time are we
Yeah.
talking?
Well, what time can you make it? BK?
Early's good for me. I'm traveling to
better
Dallas
for me.
around 1.
I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, I got
9 a.m. Central?
Early's good for me.
This messes me. I might wake up early.
8 a.m. Central?
Let me check my
Ooh.
schedule.
No, 9 a.m. Central.
Yeah, it'd be 8 a.m. for
Okay.
the Denver guys.
Book it. 9 a.m.
9
Central.
a.m.
I mean,
I'm
get up.
in.
We can
All
watch
right.
the race. We have to watch the race
You
first.
guys get 2 race brain episodes this week. All you listeners, let's go.
3, right? Oh wait, you're
Well,
on this week.
No,
with
this
us.
is gonna
Okay.
be that. Yeah, I meant like
Gotcha,
you get the OG race brain guys twice this week.
That's great.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Right?
Good job this weekend.
Thank you.